to turn around and make yourselves a little more comfortable. And you're also welcome to keep eating and to get up and get more food, because we're going really informal tonight. You're just not welcome to yell obscenities. Money would be fine. Throwing money is fine. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book. I don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. I don't know much about geography. I don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. I don't know what a slider rule is for. But I do know 1 and 1 is 2. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. Now I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. 'Cause maybe by being an A student, baby, I could win your love for me. I don't know much about the Middle Ages. Looked at the pictures and I turned the pages. I don't know nothing about no rise and fall. I don't know nothing about nothing at all. But girl, it's you that I've been thinking of. And if I could only win your love, what a wonderful world this would be. What a wonderful, 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 wonderful world this would be. What a wonderful, 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 wonderful world this would be. Dan Fogelberg, and Rod was kind enough to not only remind me of what's going on this weekend, but also to request this next song. This is Run for the Roses for the 128th, even Rick knows, the 128th running of the Kentucky Derby. Born in the valley and raised in the trees of western Kentucky on wobbling knees, with Mama beside you to guide you along. You'll soon be a growing up strong. All the long lazy mornings in pastures of green, the sun on your withers, the wind in your mane. The meadow prepared you for what lies ahead. The run for the roses so rare. And it's run for the roses as fast as you can. Your fate is delivered, your moment's at hand. It's the chance of a lifetime, and a lifetime of chance. It's high time you joined in the dance. It's high time you joined in the dance. From sire to sire, it's born in the blood. The fire of a mare and the strength of a stud. It's breeding and it's training, and it's something unknown that drives you and carries you home. And it's run for the roses as fast as you can. Your fate is delivered, your moment's at hand. It's the chance of a lifetime, and a lifetime of a chance. It's high time you joined in the dance. It's high time you joined in the dance. Imagine, if you will, a young boy growing up in Northwest Alabama.
It's gotta be good.
Yeah. Try staying awake during this one, Tracy. I know you're used to other people sleeping, but that doesn't mean you get to. Young boy, where I was before, young boy growing up in Northwest Alabama, finding the girl of his dreams.
Actually, that was in Southern Alabama.
Look, I don't know much about geography. And softly sing this song to her. Moonlight and magnolias, stardust in your hair, all the world a dream come true. Did it really happen? Was I really there? Was I really there with you? We lived a little drama. We kissed on a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. I can't forget the glamour. Your eyes held a tender light, and the stars fell on Alabama last night. I never planned in my imagination a situation so heavenly, a fairyland that no one else could enter, and in the center, you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer, my arms went around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Yes, we lived our little drama. We kissed on a field so wide, and stars fell on Alabama last night.
Sweet home Alabama.
Oh. Did you say you could take requests?
Tracy, I want to go to heaven. It's a sin to tell a lie. All right, one of my favorite all-time songs. There's a lot of songs tonight that Rick's going to get all verklempt over. This is the first one. You're welcome to sing along on this if you want to. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Pingbird loved that rascal Puff and brought in strings and sealing wax and lots of fancy stuff. Oh, Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a ship with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant swings make way for other toys. One great night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bowed in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Two very interesting things. First of all, Rick's interpretation of the lyrics to Puff the Magic Dragon. And we've kind of got like a little generation gap back there.
I'm wondering if we're going to ever make it to the 80s. I want to step out on a limb.
It's going to take a while, let me tell you.
About 9 o'clock we might be back. Wait till 8, right?
This next song is
Rebirth?
no. You people with the Leonard Skinner fixation, you might as well get over that. It ain't gonna happen. This next song is a little more on the serious level, especially than the cat calls I'm getting. Always makes me think of my grandmother, which will probably make my mom cry. Might make me cry, but I'll try not to. And for most of you, it'll probably make you think of somebody. Claire had all but given up when she and Edwin fell in love. She touched his face and shook her head in disbelief. She sighed and said, in many dreams I've held you near, but now at last you're really here. Where have you been? I've looked for you forever and a day. Where have you been? No, I'm just not myself when you're away. He asked her for her hand for life, and she became a salesman's wife. He was home each night by 8, but one stormy evening he was late. late. Frightened tears fell to the floor until his key turned in the door. Where have you been? I've looked for you forever and a day. Where have you been? No, I'm just not myself when you're away. They never spent a night apart. For 60 years she heard him snore. Now they're in a hospital in separate beds on different floors. Claire soon lost her memory, forgot the names of family. She never spoke a word again until one day they wheeled him in. He held her hand and stroked her hair, and in a fragile voice she said, where have you been? I've looked for you forever and a day. Where have you been? No, I'm just not myself when you're away. No, I'm just not myself when you're away. From the Sublime.
Oh, goodness. Oh, no.
No.
You know, there's two of us here with ties on. Both of us spent a lot of time at Lytton High School. If I'd have gotten an announcement, had I gotten an update, had I heard an announcement, or had I read a bulletin, I wouldn't have had a tie on. I got all those things. I didn't even open my invitation. I got Phil off and I said, are we supposed to be casual? Are you through? Oh.
You look casual now.
He looks worse than casual, Miss Donna. One of the great treasures of our country is the American folk song. The American folk song, often written in first person. We would like to share one with you now.
This is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Where's that?
As I walked out in the streets of Laredo,
As I walked out in Laredo one day,
I spied a young cowboy all dressed in white linen,
dressed in white linen as cold as a clay.
I see by your outfit that you are a cowboy.
I see by your outfit you're a cowboy too.
We see by our outfits that we are cowboys. If you get an outfit, you can be a cowboy too. If the money is right, we'll have a performance of Are You Lonesome tonight later on. That's about right.
Gonna get some change. Is that an 80s song? 1880s.
1880s. Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd often sang that song. Okay, Jason, I think we're going to hit the 80s here. I think it's the 80s.
Is it Michael Jackson?
Yeah, Phil does like it.
Leanne often begs me to moonwalk. Okay. Now this is a Garth song. It's a calm Garth song. It's another one of those tearjerker things. Sometimes late at night, I lie awake and watch her sleeping. She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the light and lay there in the dark. And the thought crosses my mind, if I never wake up in the morning, would she ever doubt the way I feel about her in my heart? If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? That I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one. And if my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, this love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? 'Cause I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I loved them. How I've lived with the regret that my true feelings for them never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself to say each day how much she means to me, and avoid that circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I loved her? That I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one. And if my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, this love I gave her in the past be enough to last if tomorrow never comes. So tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. Thank you. Jason, have you heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard that one. But you skipped a decade. Yeah, that was 90s though.
Was that 90s? So's this next one. A lot of you have no clue who Edwin McCain is. No. But as soon as I started, I hope the back row there knows who this is.
Lucas.
This is a song called I'll Be. It's a pretty little bitty. questions in your eyes, color them wonderful, stop me and steal my breath. And emeralds from mountains thrust towards the sky, never revealing their depth. And tell me that we belong together, dress it up in the trappings of love. I'll be captivated, I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hang from above. And I'll be your crying shoulder, I'll be love's suicide. And I'll be better when I'm older, I'll be the greatest fan of your life. And rain falls angry on the tin roof as I lie awake in my bed. You're my survival, you're my living proof. Our love is alive and not dead. And tell me that we belong together, dress it up with the trappings of love. I'll be captivated, I'll hang from your lips instead of the gallows of heartache that hang from above. And I'll be your crying shoulder, I'll be love's suicide. And I'll be better when I'm older, I'll be the greatest fan of your life. The greatest fan of your life. The greatest fan of your life. Thank you. Can't stay in the 90s too long, so we're going back to the 70s.
80s just didn't count much, apparently.
I don't do disco. This is a song that I dug up from some kind of mothball covered something or another. Beautiful little story song called Daisy a Day.
We love this.
I do too. Jason, you'll particularly like it.
She will.
Big understanding.
You and Rick. He remembers the first time he met her. He remembers the first thing she said. He remembers the first time he held her, and the night that she came to his bed. He remembers her sweet way of saying, understand that part, don't you? Honey has something going on. He remembers the fun and the teasing, and the reason he wrote her this song. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still and the four winds we know blow away. That counseling's done wonderful, haven't they? They would walk down the street in the evening, and for years I would see them go by. And the love that was more than the clothes that they wore could be seen in the gleam of his eye. As a kid they would take me for candy, and I'd love to go tagging along. We'd hold hands while we walked to the corner, and the old man would sing her this song. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still and the four winds we know blow away. Now he walks down the street in the evening, and he stops by the old candy store, and I somehow believe he's believing that he's holding a hand like before. For he feels all the love walking with him, and he smiles at the things she might say. Then the old man walks up to the hilltop and gives her a daisy a day. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until rivers run still and the four winds we know blow away. Thank you. Once again from old pal Rick, this will be our last song.
Will you take a request?
That always makes me feel comfortable. What is it, Miss Donna?
Well, I mean, if this is your last song.
Might be better than what I did.
I've heard you do it at funeral. Go rest high on that. I love that song.
I
Go
do
rest
too.
high on that mountain.
But there is no way I can do it because I have no clue what the words are beyond go rest high on that mountain.
Okay, well, you're going to sing at my funeral if it happens right away. Rush up on it. Are you feeling bad, baby? Are you feeling bad?
Miss Donna, I've got my calendar out the truck. Let me add my thanks to you all for what you do in teaching the Lord's Word. To all ages, young, old, in between. I don't think you will ever know how many lives you've touched, how many lives you've blessed, and I don't think we'll ever know the growth that God has produced from seeds that we've planted that may have long forgotten about. So thank you so much. This last song is one that I've forever wished I had written. Jason, I think it is an 80s song. Maybe not. Maybe not, but I think it's 82. This is Wind Beneath My Wings. Must have been cold there in my shadow. To never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one with all the glory. But you were the one with all the strength. Only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. You are the wind beneath my wings. Might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I held it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I'd like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.